I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
Welcome back to my channel. You'd never expect something this intense to happen in a place as ordinary as a valet parking lot. But that's exactly where it all went down. Imagine it, bright lights, camera flashes, the soft hum of expensive cars pulling up, and two men standing just feet apart, no PR teams, no bodyguards, no red ropes. Just tension so thick, you could feel it in the air. Pierre and Iman Shumpert found themselves face to face, with years of emotions building up to this unexpected showdown. It wasn't some silly argument or petty disagreement. This was personal. And it got physical. The most shocking part? These two barely knew each other a year ago. But when love exits one door and someone new enters, things can get complicated. Especially when the shared connection between them is Teyana Taylor. For months, the public had been silently watching the situation unfold. People speculated, whispered, and waited. But no one expected it to all come crashing down like this, and so publicly. The tension started small. They were both at a private event in downtown Los Angeles, strictly invite only. No media, no interviews, just a quiet night. For people in the entertainment industry, it was supposed to be a drama-free evening. But as the night came to a close and guests started heading toward the valet to get their cars, something shifted. Teyana had already left by then. Some say she left early on purpose, others believe she didn't know both men would be there. Either way, she wasn't around when Aaron walked through the main doors and spotted Iman. That's when everything changed. There wasn't yelling or chaos right away. It was more like the calm before a storm. People who were nearby noticed the energy immediately. Aaron glanced at his phone, clearly trying to stay calm, but the tension in his posture was hard to ignore. Iman, on the other hand, stood tall and still, arms folded, just watching him. Nothing loud or dramatic, but the mood was heavy. And then something was said. No one knows exactly what it was. It wasn't caught on video, and witnesses only caught fragments. But the story goes that Aaron muttered something under his breath, quiet, but enough for Iman to hear. Whatever it was, it hit hard. Iman reportedly stopped and turned, saying, "Say that again." His tone wasn't loud, but sharp enough to grab attention. That kind of low, serious voice that makes the whole room freeze. Aaron looked up and met his eyes. And in that split second, something between them snapped. All those bottled-up emotions, resentment, heartbreak, jealousy, pride, surfaced in an instant, and from that moment, things moved quickly. They weren't screaming, but their voices rose enough to attract a crowd. A few people nearby pulled out their phones. One clip shows Aaron stepping forward. Iman doesn't move. There's some hand motion, some finger pointing, and their body language said it all. Aaron looked fired up, hands flaring as he talked. Iman stood like a wall, his jaw tight, fists clenched. Then came the contact. It wasn't a full-on punch, but there was definite physical tension. A chest bump, maybe a shove. Aaron lunged forward, and Iman's friend, dressed in a bright red jacket, jumped in to separate them. Aaron shifted to the side, still visibly upset. In the background, you can hear a woman scream. That's when someone called the cops. Within minutes, red and blue lights lit up the valet area. 2 police cars rolled in quickly, no sirens, just a heavy sense of urgency. Officers stepped out and moved fast, splitting up the small crowd. One cop guided Iman off to the left, while another walked Aaron to the right. No one was handcuffed, but the situation was clearly serious. Both men looked tense, faces tight, breathing hard, trying not to say too much. Police took their IDs, spoke to the valet workers, and asked around for witnesses. Then someone pulled out a phone showing the clip already making rounds online. Yes, that's how fast it spread. A woman in a blue dress had caught the moment from the back, her hands shaky, but the footage was clear enough to see the push. Officers watched the clip, nodded, and kept interviewing people. Still, no arrests were made that night, but an official report was filed. That's when the internet blew up. Within an hour, the videos were everywhere. Twitter exploded with theories. TikTok was flooded with slow-mo breakdowns of the scene. Headlines were flying, some saying, Teyana's ex and new flame clash in public, others joking, the love triangle turns into a parking lot brawl. Hashtags began trending instantly. Everyone had something to say, yet no one really knew the whole story. What actually sparked the moment? Was it jealousy? A long-standing grudge? Or just two men caught up in emotions that had been brewing for too long? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear, this wasn't just about a few words or a single encounter. This was about love, pride, and pain all colliding in the most unexpected place, right there on the pavement, under the city lights, while the world watched through their screens. And now, the real question is, what happens next? The situation escalated further when online users began analyzing the incident through lip reading. As expected, social media users slowed down the footage, frame by frame, attempting to decipher what was said during the confrontation. One interpretation suggested that Iman Shumpert told Aaron Pierre, "She's still my family. You'll never be that." In response, Aaron was allegedly heard saying, "She doesn't even mention your name anymore." Whether these statements are accurate remains uncertain. However, the perceived authenticity was enough for many people to accept them as truth, reinforcing their assumptions and opinions about the confrontation. By the following morning, public opinion was clearly divided. Supporters of Iman claimed that he was defending his family and personal history. They argued that seeing his ex-wife's new partner take center stage was emotionally overwhelming and warranted a reaction. They viewed his behavior as protective and rooted in loyalty. On the other hand, many aligned with Aaron, asserting that he did not provoke the altercation. In their view, Aaron was targeted unfairly, and any conflict stemmed from Iman's unresolved feelings and bitterness. A third group expressed disappointment in both parties, criticizing the public nature of the incident. They emphasized that the display of aggression was unnecessary and disheartening, particularly given the visibility of both men as public figures. These individuals called for maturity and unity, particularly among black men, and argued that Teyana Taylor deserved respect and peace from both individuals. What stood out more than the altercation itself was the lack of response from those involved. Neither Iman nor Aaron addressed the situation publicly. There were no official statements, social media posts, or interviews clarifying their sides. However, Teyana Taylor posted a black screen to her Instagram story with the words, "Pray for peace." Though she did not directly reference the incident, many interpreted her message as a response to the confrontation, indicating her awareness and disapproval. Behind the scenes, anonymous sources began to provide additional context. One claimed that Iman had been suppressing emotional distress for months, and encountering Aaron unexpectedly caused those feelings to surface. Another source alleged that Aaron had previously sensed passive-aggressive behavior from Iman and did not intend to cause conflict but felt provoked. These accounts suggest that the conflict may have been rooted in long-standing emotional tension rather than a spontaneous outburst. Nevertheless, the public setting and the involvement of law enforcement changed the nature of the incident. Police were called, witnesses were present, and video recordings were rapidly circulated online. The event drew criticism from those concerned about its influence on young audiences, particularly in how it might normalize violence as a means of expressing emotional conflict or asserting dominance in relationships. This incident is not merely about a celebrity dispute. It reflects broader issues related to emotional suppression, unresolved resentment, and the public handling of private relationships. The confrontation between Iman and Aaron illustrates what can occur when unspoken issues remain unresolved and pride overtakes rational judgment. The situation underscores the emotional toll that public relationships can take on those involved and how easily private pain can be exposed to public scrutiny. The public remains eager for clarity. It is still unknown whether legal action will be taken or if either party will choose to share their version of events. Teyana Taylor, as the central connection between both individuals, has also yet to provide a comprehensive statement. Until then, speculation will continue. What is particularly unfortunate is that this situation could have remained private. However, the public nature of the conflict has created lasting consequences. Personal relationships have been damaged, public images have been affected, and the potential for legal implications cannot be ruled out. Regardless of whether the full story is ever revealed, the damage has already been done. The consequences of this event are ongoing and unresolved. Thumbs up like what you see? Then don't hold back, red heart like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop.